one of my favorite sayings in the chamber world was people like to do business with or refer business to people they know, like, and trust.
Right.
So that's where the kindness comes in. You start building trust by treating people the way you want to be treated. Kind of the foundation of my being when it comes to ROI on niceness comes from a quote by Leo Buscaglia.
Oh, Dr. Love.
Yes, Dr. Love. And it is so simple, Michael. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. And that's simply it. Please, thank you. Just treating people the way you want to be treated in the world.
Yeah, but Craig, I'm too damn busy. I'm too damn busy to be nice. Nice isn't in my business plan. Nice is something for wusses. Nice is something that you don't necessarily have to do. That has been, among many business leaders, the way that they do business. And I suspect that there is a real return on investment for being nice.
Yes, there is, Michael, and I'll demonstrate it to you.
Talk to me.
Because what did you do one time? You called me up and said, I have a guest coming over and staying at your property.
Yep.
I said, Michael, thank you for the business. But what I did do was, since it's your guest, and again, life is a reflection, so what you want to give or receive from the world, you got to give to the world. If I sent someone to you, I know they would have the greatest care. You send someone to me, I'm going to give them that same greatest care. Well, I put together that welcome letter, a couple of bottles of water, a couple of chocolates, and delivered it to the room with a personally signed, personally delivered letter. Now, did that make an impact?
Huh. Yeah, it did.
Okay, will that client come back? More than likely, they'll stay with us again. And I didn't even share this with you, and somehow
I had no idea. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, here's the letter. This is the first time I've seen it. I had no idea that Craig had done this. A very nice letter. The backstory of that is we had some clients from Austin, Texas in, and they were looking for a place to stay. They settled on the Sheraton West, where I know that Craig is at. And they came down for dinner. We had a meeting. There's several of our staff there and the principals of this company. And so 10 seconds, Craig, into the conversation, they say to me, that was such a nice gesture. I had no idea what they were talking about.
Right.
I should have, but I had no idea what they were talking about. And so, oh, that's nice. Oh, that little gift that was delivered to our room. And bingo, I knew right away, kids, that it was Craig Light had something to do with that. And but what does that do for me?
Makes you look like a hero too.
Sure, it makes me look like a hero, but you know what? I know where I'm sending all of my out of town.
So you just hit the multiplier effect on niceness, because now I have you as a permanent referral source, and you're going to send all your business my direction. Now, it took me, just a matter of minutes to do a kind little gesture, and the impact is profound.
You've worked in the chamber business and done those types of things with members.
Correct.
And that's a tough business because you've got so many publics that you have to satisfy, and you have to be nice to all of them most of the time. Anyway.
Right.
Is that more of a challenge from, say, for example, from the corporate or the chamber world than what it is in the hospitality? I mean, in the hospitality business, you're expected to be relatively nice, aren't you?
Right. Correct. Yeah, I mean, that's why it's called the hospitality industry. You don't see too many crabby people in this business. And I'm fortunate at our property, the Sheraton West Des Moines, is that the attitude from the general manager all the way down to housekeeping is all the same, to present our property in the best possible manner, in the best possible way. And very fortunate on that. When it comes to chambers, the way I tell people is the best way I can help you is by knowing more about you and your business. Who are your key contacts, things like that. The more I know about your business, the more I can help you. So suddenly I'm out networking and so says, I need to update my marketing plan. I can't do it myself. Call Michael Libby. Then all of a sudden you start that referral process. how, that's so immense. It's so powerful because I never, for the people I help, I don't remember, but the people that have helped me, I'll never forget them. If I can't repay them directly, I'll honor them some other way. But that's just part of doing business. So in chamber world, the more I know about a business, the more I can help you. And then all of a sudden, I'm making two people happy. I'm helping this new chamber member get connected with another member to do business. And suddenly I have two advocates for me once again. It's just small acts.
Yeah. Over at Drake, for the MBA program, they don't necessarily teach nice, do they?
It's more academic, Michael. And yeah, it's, you have to have the foundation. You have to have the understanding of business to also ask the right questions. Because if you don't understand what you're asking or the implications, then you're wasting people's time.
Sure.
So everything you have to do has to be in a meaningful fashion.
Well, we always hear about the cost of attracting a new client,
correct,
or a new customer, and the cost or employee for that matter. So the cost to attract a new client, customer, or employee is monumental.
It is.
The cost to retain that employee, customer, or consumer is much, much less.
Correct.
And this is one of the ways, you think?
Yes, absolutely. And see, in my business, I don't get a lot of instant gratification because I am doing a lot of legwork for associations. Association will book a conference maybe once a year. So I get one chance, to start building the relationship. So my process, my sales process will take 6 months to a year to even longer because a lot of these associations already have events booked through 2014. So again, it's a longer process for me. So there is a heavy expense in trying to attract the business. And then once I get them in the door, I just hope they're dazzled by me and our entire team. And in most instances, they are. I brag about our kitchen. We have chefs that have been there 17 years and make all our sauces from scratch, use real cream, real butter. It's not the healthiest, but boy, it sure tastes good.
But it's good, yeah. It certainly does taste good. We've got 25 minutes now, ladies and gentlemen, after the hour. Our guest is Craig Light. Craig is the sales manager, national sales manager for Sheraton West over in West Des Moines. We're talking about the ROI of being nice. Is there a fear factor to being nice? I mean, if you're going to set out on this whole corporate agenda to readjust your involvement with customers or consumers, is there a little bit of a fear factor putting yourself out there to be nice? Because you have to be nice all the time, don't you?
Right.
So it's not an act.
No, it's not an act because people can spot phony. They can, false enthusiasm, things like that. It's very visible. You just have to have the attitude. I can't always control circumstances or actions of others, but every morning I can wake up, I can select my own attitude. My attitude is always in a positive direction because that's what I expect out of the day. And so there is no fear of going out in the world and being nice because I think if people, kind of one of my favorite quotes from the Bible, 1 Corinthians 13, the greatest of these is love. And so go out in the world, share, be kind, love one another, and the world will be a better place.
I have a friend who does broadcasting still in Fort Dodge. His name is Mike Devine. And Mike has always accused me of being Dr. Love. And, I'm not, but he has often accused me of that because I tend to, in so many other areas, I attempt to. Now, ask my bride, it may be a different story, but I attempt to live that way. But it is a challenge. It is a challenge to take the corporate niceness and live that way all the time. Give us a couple of examples, would you? Not just this one, but you've had lots of experience in this. This interview is a direct result,
correct,
of your attitude,
right? Because you were attracted to me. I mean, not kind of in a spiritual way, but in our attitude that we share, and so. Like minds start coming together, and then we start learning from one another. One good example, I'm going to go back to chamber world for a minute, is in 2009, I was president of the Urbandale Chamber, and At that time, I ended up knowing a lot of the members. So I had the luxury of when I go to an event, I could spot the new face in the
Sure.
crowd. And I always made a determined effort to go over and see that new person, find out who they are, who they work for, and start engaging them and trying to figure out, okay, who can I introduce you to? And as a result, all of a sudden, you've created a friendship right away. Because all of a sudden, this person walks in the door, deer in the headlights, looks around, doesn't know a soul. And I know how it felt when I was in that position. And I felt so comforted when someone would come up to me and say, "Hi, welcome. My name is Michael Libby. Welcome to the Urbandale Chamber breakfast this morning. Tell me about your business, Craig."
Yeah.
Oh, and then all of a sudden, that person is totally relaxed. You have a best friend at your side and you're meeting new people. It changes the whole event. So if you enjoy something, will you do it again? Yeah, you'll come back to another chamber event. If it's miserable, everybody ignores you, and you feel awkward the entire time, you're over in the corner playing with your cell phone or whatever, you're not going to come back. So it's engaging, getting people engaged.
If you've got a question or a comment for us, you can go ahead and contact us via Twitter. It's at InsightADV. That's at InsightADV. This is Insight on Business. My name's Michael Libby, and we are powered by Webcast One Live. Our guest in studio is Craig Light, and we're talking about the ROI of being nice. Craig, when we talk about that kind of a thing, is there a cost? Is there a hard cost to having a sunnier disposition?
There is, because it takes time. And, my job as a salesperson is to book business.
Exactly.
So the cost is taking away from my time of actually getting contracts signed, but that's part of the process of developing these long-term relationships.
Excuse me while I'm watching. I'm watching the comments come in.
Okay. Okay.
So, what's the downside? Is there a downside? It was just a comment that we just got. Is there a downside to this whole relationship marketing? Because that's what we're talking about in a sense, is relationship marketing. And there's many, many different ways that you can go about that. Not only in print, but thank you letters, things like what you did for a client of mine, being nice in public and those kinds of things. And the question is there a downside to all this? I think we kind of touched on that a moment ago, but somebody just brought it up.
Yeah, and I don't see a downside, Michael. I don't. Again, what you want to receive from the world, you give to the world. And if you want to receive kindness, if you want to receive respect, if you want to do business, then treat people the way you want to, do business, and it comes back to you.
Let's say, Craig, that in my business, whatever business I happen to be in, I'm going to make this attempt to build on something called relationship marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And is there a formula? How do you get started? This is your personality, quite frankly. And when I know when I met your bride, I happened to say, this guy's the nicest guy on the planet. That goes back several years ago. But that's your personality as well as your business outlook. But let's say that I'm a business that's not used to doing those kinds of things. Is there some type of a formula that you could suggest to people how they can break into being a better relationship marketer?
It comes down to good questioning. A lot of times when I go on a new call, I'll go to the website. I'll find out a little bit about the business that I'm calling on. And Interstate Batteries in Urbandale just built a new facility in Urbandale. And when I went out and met Brian Weber, one of the things I brought up in the conversation was from their mission statement, I said, you're one of the few organizations I've ever seen to glorify God in the mission statement. And all of a sudden he told me about, what a Christian organization they are, how they have a pastor that travels around to the different facilities. And all of a sudden, I took time to learn about the other person, and it made a huge impact. Now they're a customer, they're a client. And that's part of the formula is preparation and knowing the proper things to ask. Find out what their loves and passions are and get people talking about themselves, their family, their friends, their children.
Yeah, learn the backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Learn the backstory. And let's talk about a retail setting. Okay. Now, corporate settings, I get. Hospitality industry, I get. Let's say that I've got a brick and mortar store someplace and I'm selling self-wheezel winding torque inducers, by the droves. or I'm asking people to come in to do shopping at my store, whatever it happens to be. Let me tell you, one of the biggest gripes I have about almost any retail establishment is when you go to the checkout lane. We'll use grocery stores, for example. You go to the grocery store checkout lane, and what's the question that they always ask you?
Paper or plastic?
Well, that's one of them. The first question that you usually get is, did you find everything that you were looking for?
Right.
Really? Yes. That's why I'm here now.
To check out, right?
And if I didn't find everything I'm looking for, you think I want to make you go through 90,000 square feet to find what it is I'm looking for? Why not engage the consumer more and say, oh, I see you're buying XYZ. That's a great product. We've used that before. Is there a danger to doing that, or why do businesses fall back on the simplest question?
I don't know. It boggles me because I have the same reaction on some of these things, and please, thank you for shopping our store. And after a while, you know who your repeat customers are.
Sure.
Oh, you're back again. It's nice to see you again. I mean, it's you can engage. You can engage. Now, once again, will you become loyal to that store if you're engaged with them? Yeah. And if you're treated well, you'll go back. But if the checkout person doesn't even raise their eyes and doesn't even look at you and just kind of droning through the whole process, it's not very engaging.
Yeah, and we've seen that, time and time again, where you go to whatever the store is, and the person that's checking you out or taking you, or whatever it happens to be, is more engaged in his or her lifestyle issues than what they are in the transaction of business. And, but in the hospitality business, you can't afford to do that. Right. I don't imagine. I have a quick story to share with you, and I suspect that you guys at Sheridan do this as well. A couple of years ago, I spoke in Charleston. Charleston. And I stayed at the Charleston Hotel, a very fine establishment in Old Town, Charleston. 3 weeks before I got there, of course, I understand this is all automated, but still it makes an impact. They send you an email. They say, hey, we're expected to see you. If there's anything we can do for you, when you get here, please contact me. And I got 3 of those, I think, in the 3 weeks leading up to the fact that I was there. And the first thing I did after I checked into the hotel, I went straight to the concierge, and I said, I want to tell you how impactful that is, because I feel like we've got a relationship, Rick, between you and I already. And I know this is perhaps an automated thing that you send out, but I was so grateful that you reached out and said, hey, is there anything that I can do? And by the way, there is. How far to the local synagogue from here?
Yeah.
Right. So those kinds of things, I think, would play well for almost any industry, not just hotels.
Right, exactly.
For example, ladies and gentlemen, there are lots of loyalty cards out there that the grocery stores have.
Right.
And, wouldn't it be cool to be able to utilize that in some way for outreach to your shoppers?
And here's another simple one for me. We have a concierge floor, Sheridan Club, at our property. We have a Starwood Preferred Guest program, which is a rewards program. So when we serve a breakfast and some hot hors d'oeuvres in the evening. When I'm on property, either in the morning or in the evening, I'll go up to the concierge level and say, I walk in the room and shake everybody's hand that's in the room, because I tell them, without you, I don't have a job, because they're our most loyal, brand loyal, property loyal clients we have. And that's why they're part of the Starwood Preferred Guest program.
We just had a comment about something we were just talking about from Twitter. And if you have a question or a comment, you can shoot it to us at that's Inside ADV. It would be nice if cashiers would make eye contact and not chomp their gum.
Right.
It would. Yeah. Little things, kids. Little things, and this doesn't cost a lot of money. This is training. This is sharing with people how important each consumer is.
Right. Another thing, it's so simple. Going back to Chamber World or something, please join us. Please help us. Please donate. And then afterwards, thank you for your support. Yeah. Thank you for your membership. Yeah. An email, a card, handwritten note. That's another lost art, handwritten notes. Yeah. And they're very powerful because you see them.
You don't get them.
Right. They're so rare anymore.
Yeah, yeah. The art of sending out, ladies and gentlemen, a handwritten note to a client is powerful. I get those from people that I've done business with, and I hold on to them.
Yeah,
Right. You go, wow, somebody actually took the time to write something and put a stamp on it, and I won't get it anymore on Saturday, but that's okay. It's Shabbos. So, but at least, you go ahead and you get some kind of written response, and it took a little effort to do those kinds of things. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest has been Craig Light. Craig is the National Sales Manager for Sheraton West. Sheraton West is a property in the great city of West Des Moines, and he's been sharing with us some of the inside secrets of the ROI of being nice. Thanks for coming by.
My pleasure, Michael. It's always an honor.
You say that to me every time, and I believe it.
Right.
I believe it. Craig Light, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we'll wrap it up for today's show and give you some action steps that you get to do almost immediately. This is Inside on Business, the News Hour, and we're powered by Webcast One Live.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
You want your tax return done quickly and accurately so that you can get the maximum tax refund. And our friends at Fwirsa in Clive understand this, and they're here for you right now. Between now and April 15th, the staff at Fwirsa are welcoming walk-ins until 9 p.m. each Tuesday evening. Walk in or call for an appointment. Don't wait until the last minute. We've used the professional staff at Fwirsa for the past several years, and we've always been impressed. That's Fwirsa, working hard for you until the cows come home.
Whether you're 10, 25, 50, 80 years old and beyond, everyone needs to live within their means. I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America. For almost a quarter of a century, we've helped people of all ages learn to manage their personal finances to benefit them far into the future. When problems arise, we've got the experience you need to make those debt problems go away. Got financial problems? Call Consumer Credit of America.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Insight on Business. My name is Michael Libby, and we are powered by Webcast One Live. Thanks so very much for putting up with us today. Let's recap and give you some action steps, okay? We talked about the seminar 5 in 24. 5 things that you can do in the next 24 hours that will impact positively your sales and your marketing footprint with consumers. We talked about 2 specific areas. Number 1 was can the clutter. Don't put as many words in your print, radio, television, or website that you currently do. Nobody really cares. They want to know what is the benefit, what is the product, what is the benefit, and how do I access it? Keep it simple, all right? Can the clutter, and you will be able to sell more. You'll be able to engage your consumer with more of the visual than what they have to read or try to comprehend. Can the clutter. Number 1 of the 5 things you can do for your business in 24 hours. Number 2 is go mobile or go away. If you've got a business, I don't care what the business is, and you're trying to connect with consumers and consumers are utilizing this, over 50% of the people that are accessing the web on this. And if they can't see your website, if they can't reach you via telephone, if they can't make contact with you by email with one click of a button, you're losing out on the connectivity. Mobile websites used to be drastically expensive. $4,000, $8,000, $10,000 for a mobile website. That price has now fallen to well under $1,000, including all the graphics. You want some more information about that, you can contact us at insightcubed.com. That's insightcubed.com, or email me. You'll find me. All you have to do is look at this. Bam! Ryan puts up the third just like that. That's our website, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to say, well, why aren't you mobile? That's because we're like cobblers. All right? Our children have no shoes. We just make the shoes for our clients. That's coming in the next day or two. It's just we haven't gotten around to it. So go ahead and make contact with us. You've got interest on mobile. You've got interest on keeping things uncluttered. Let us know. You can find our blog over at insightcube.com as well. And finally, we were talking about the ROI of being nice with our special guest, Craig Light. It doesn't cost any more, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't cost any more to be nice to your clients. All you have to do is, like Craig said, read a little Leo Buscaglia or something like that. You know, be nice. It will turn thousands of dollars in rewards. It's called relationship marketing, and we were proud to have Craig with us. He's one of the best in the business. Thanks so very much for coming by. We'll be back here next Monday live at 8:45 with Inside on Business. Until then, you can find this all over the web. Join us at insightcubed.com for this blog and others. Thanks so very much for being with us. Thanks to our producer, Ryan Northfield. Have yourself a wonderful day. Be safe, be well, be careful. Most of all, be good to your fellow man.